because of this, I want to share with you guys something that really makes a difference to me, right? One thing that really makes a difference to me, and listen, I'm sorry to the guys in the comments, but I got to talk about this, is I cycle sync. And because I'm cycle syncing, I get so much work done. So I'll tell you something. For me, what happens is, and I'm going to go to my phone because I use the My Flow app to cycle sync. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I am speaking about your menstrual cycle. So I use my cycle to navigate my business because my cycle is not going anywhere and I need to understand what are my weaknesses and strengths during specific times. So like I said, I use the My Flow app, right? And I should have connected my phone to my computer because I could do that with Ecamm. But with your cycle, you have 4 different cycles that you go through, right? Now, I'll tell you something that's funny. Women take 30 days to go through our cycles, the same cycle that a man goes through in 24 hours, okay? So when you're dating a woman and she is 4 different people, don't be surprised, guys. Like, have some empathy, okay? She's not crazy. She's just going through a lot. So, all right. This is what I like to keep in mind. Like I said, I'm going to be looking down because, I'm in my app right now. So there are 4 cycles. Yes. I saw Leda said, interesting. This is interesting stuff, guys. So I want you to take note. So we have 4 cycles. The first cycle is your menstrual cycle, right? So that cycle lasts for, everybody varies, right? But in your menstrual cycle, you want to rest. And so for me, I always tell you guys during my menstrual cycle, I'm usually inward, which means I'm overthinking things. Whatever I'm telling myself is not true. So I have to tell myself, as soon as this time is over, we're going to be back on track, girl. Listen, don't listen to yourself and the words that you're telling yourself at that time, right? So that's when I really step back from business and I rest. Sometimes I get quiet and you guys DM me or reach out like, Zay, are you okay? Yes, I'm good, but I need to step away for a bit, right? Now, the second cycle that I go into, well, every woman, is follicular. And so for me, follicular in business means, all right, I have new ideas. That's when all the ideas come in. All the things start getting exciting. That's when you speak to your partner and they're like, girl, another business idea. Like, come on, Zay. And I'm like, yes, no, if we did this, this is really gonna work. We need to do this. Like, that's when you have the most ideas. So for me, that is when I sit down and map out all of the ideas. Like, I do a full brainstorm of all the things that I would like to get done for the month, fresh new ideas. I make sure and I write those down. For that, I use Notion, right? Now, the next cycle that we go through is our ovulation. This is a really important cycle, guys. So let me tell you. Ovulation is when I am ready to kick some ass, right? So that means all of the ideas that I came up with and I'm super excited about, I can now execute them in the ovulation time, because ovulation is when you feel like a boss, you wanna, you're closing deals. I do sales calls during ovulation. I do launches during ovulation because it's when I want to show up and shut shit down the most, right? So keep that in mind. Anytime I'm thinking about launches and stuff like that, I do this because I never want to be launching during my menstrual phase or luteal phase, which we'll be talking about next, because those 2 times are inward. It's when we experience a lot of self-talk. It's when we experience a lot of doubt, and you never want to be conducting business during that time. So Taisha, I edit during the luteal phase. Now, I no longer always edit my videos because now I have an editor, but in my time of editing, I would edit during my luteal phase because that's when you're checking off boxes. That's when you're finishing things, you're getting things done. That's when you pay attention to real details, right? So that is the phase that you would really zone in and hone in on when it comes to editing. So every month, you can now go through these different schedules and figure out what really works for you. I want you to think about that because it works. You won't believe. I'm telling you, it works so well. And then after luteal, you go through your menstrual phase again, right? So you go through luteal, a lot of self-talk. One thing that I love doing during luteal or even menstrual is writing down the thoughts I have to myself, like the insecure thoughts, the thoughts of you can't do this, you ain't ish, all those things, because we all go through them. Let's be honest, we are all human. That's when I write down those thoughts, because usually that's what my clients are saying to themselves. So when I come through and I tell you guys, this is what you're thinking and you need to stop it, I know from personal experience how we can overcome these things, because listen, I've been exactly where you are or you might have been. Right? So that is what cycle syncing is. And cycle syncing as it pertains to video content is so helpful. So I just gave you guys 4 phases where you are able to figure out your ideas and really brainstorm and research and get things together during the follicular phase. The next phase is your ovulation phase, where you can really dig down and really get on camera and dominate everything. The third phase is your luteal phase, which is where you would edit, you would create your blog post, like you would check things off. And the last phase is menstrual, when you need to step back and rest and you follow that cycle all over again. Let me know in the comments if that was helpful. Even if you're a guy, I would love to know, like, did you learn did you learn anything new? Did you I want to know what you guys are thinking as it pertains to this. So Taisha, I hope that is helpful for you. That's how I think about my whole creation process, and it has worked so well. And that's also how I think about launching as well, right? So I always am intentional about when I launch, because I want to show up at my best for you guys.